Oh, fuck. I didn't even do that on... Oh, it's on auto. Well, that explains it. That light is bright as hell. Okay. But, okay, so. Much better. So what happened... You're getting a bonus video today. And what happened was... I was walking to work. And... there was this couple. There was a girl... Came up to like her head stops on my stomach. And then there was this guy who was about twice as tall as her. And you're too damn tall to be doing this, dude. Because he like kneeled down in front of her and pulled out a box with a diamond ring in it. Now I have my headphones on the entire time, but, based on his pose and her reaction, I'm pretty sure we can all guess what was happening. And that's, in that moment, it hit me. Oh yeah, Valentine's Day is next week, isn't it? And I just wanted to push both of them into the river. I mean, first of all, you're standing on a bridge. There's not that much walking room. And you're blocking the entire pathway. Dude, your legs are too damn long. You can't just be doing this shit all up in public. You got 4 people on the other side. They standing here waiting all polite. I'm sitting there standing here like wanted to just stab you with my umbrella all penguin style and shit. I mean, come on, bruh. You're messing up all our days. But I didn't push him. Instead, I just patiently waited till he stood back up. And then as I walked by, I just patted him on the back, said congratulations, and kept on going. Once again, my headphones were on the entire time. And then I also wanted to talk about in the other video. I've been working so diligently on my autobiography. I'm taking a break this weekend just because I need to have some fun time for myself every now and then. Because also, best case scenario, there are things, even if the book itself, I'm not as worried about the copyright on that. Like, I still want to give it some leeway, like, because I know that this one's going to be copywritten because it's the story of my life. If anybody else out there has a copyright on that, then that means one of you motherfuckers that's been watching every single one of my videos and just writing everything down and then sold the story. In which case, I will come for you. I will murder your children, and if you don't have children right now, you best believe I will wait. I'll be in the delivery room, pushed up against the wall like a ninja. Just, got the camo on and everything. As soon as the umbilical cord is cut, I'm coming with the sword and cutting the baby's head off. Wah, wah, dead. I don't know if you can tell, I'm tired. And unfortunately, when I'm tired, my filter turns off. And I'm telling you exactly what's in my head. And my head is a very dark place. And oftentimes disgusting to a normal human being. I consider it, hey, fantasy. It's not like I'm actually going to do it because it takes too much training to build up those ninja skills. And it's just not worth it. Well, it might be if someone actually did try to steal my life story, but I doubt anyone would think it was that good. I also wanted to actually kind of clarify my story. Because I was talking about it yesterday, and I feel like the message might have gotten lost a little bit with the whole Anna Kendrick thing and kind of inspiring me to rework it a little. Because the thing that I was doing wrong is I was writing it as a novel. And I think I don't know if I was doing it subconsciously or unconsciously, whatever. I think I was trying too hard to make it entertaining instead of just telling my story. And I think that's the thing I'm doing better with that now, is that I'm writing it less like a novel and more like just a really long YouTube script. I don't do as much anymore, but used to be when I did sketches and reviews and other stuff. And like when I do coverage on my sports channel, I write a script which has basic information, Also knowing that there's gonna be a little room, so there will be things in parentheses. Like I might want to touch on this or that. Depends on my mood. And I think, but still, like I have to write it as if I was talking to someone, because, and that's one thing I was with this book. I was writing it more for myself, and now I've reached a point where I'm like, I need to think of it as like a YouTube video where I'm sitting here, I'm having a conversation, but even though it's an inanimate object that I'm talking to, some of you receive it and you're like, you you get the point I'm trying to say. It's like a conversation, but except it's a delayed response. I sit here for 20 minutes talking, then you sit there for 4 minutes responding, and blah blah blah. So I just reworked that. So I'm reworking it in that sense that it's more of an anecdote than an essay. Also, I'm also going to take a break from working on it just for a couple of days because, a couple of weird ideas popped into my head that I want to work on. There's three movies that I'm just going to, and I have to write them now just while it's still fresh in my head. Because if I take too long to put it all on paper, it could just disappear. And they're great ideas that I could actually sell. So I'm gonna take I don't know if I'm gonna take the entire weekend, because I do gotta look into some shit going on with my bank account. Long story short, there's some suspicious activity that I'm trying to get sorted out, because there's some charges that I definitely did not make. So like I already like emailed and phone called and nothing, and I got no answers. Like if I have to go down there and just personally raise hell, I'm willing to do that. Like I do have that inner blackness I can bring out. I try to avoid it when possible, but when I'm not dealing with all the other bullshit, I am going to work on a couple of these new stories. Two of them are based on different stories that already exist, and actually, because I'm actually writing a prequel to one of my favorite childhood stories, which, once again, I'm not saying it because this one might actually be good. This one might actually be sellable. Who knows? And then there's another movie which, shockingly, was somewhat inspired by porn, which honestly isn't that shocking for me personally. Like it might be for you, but like this is like the third or fourth time I've made a movie based on porn, because porn in itself, like I like it, I watch it all the time, but then there are times when they try to make it into a story, and they're just such shitty actors, and but every now and then you see a story that is like, if this was done correctly, you might have to limit the sex part, and you might have to add more backstory and an actual ending and stuff. But this isn't the worst idea ever. So yeah, I'm making a movie. So yeah, I've got three different projects in my head that I'm kind of working on. I need to do it just to get, like I said, get it out of my head. Otherwise, it's gonna keep bothering me. Cause like I have to just remember it, or cause if I forget it, then and it's just gone forever. So yeah, gonna do a lot of just free form writing for a few new stories that just I won't leave my head, cause I can't. It's too distracting. Every time I stop to think, I think back to them, because I'm worried that if I stop thinking about them, I'll forget about them. And so yeah, I need to write them down just so I can stop thinking about them and get back to my other shit. So yeah, that's the thing. This is the first weekend in almost a month that I don't have other obligations, other than there might be some guy knocking on my door inviting me out. Hopefully he doesn't actually know where I live. Like, I know he lives in the same apartment complex, and he said he recognized me, but he might not actually know. But once again, worst case scenario, I can just refuse to answer the door. And if he refuses to leave the door when I refuse to answer it, I can choose to call the cops. That being said, I've seen him interact with other people. He seems relatively popular enough that I might piss off every single neighbor if I get him arrested. So that it could be risky. But at the same time, I don't actually like any of my neighbors, so I don't give a fuck if they hate me too. Yeah. I have no idea how to end this. So I guess I should just turn the camera off then.